Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Daryl.
And Daryl, this is episode 492, The Fly and the Betrayal. The betrayal obviously being Joe Burrow's toe.
That's not your best work.
I don't care because Jackson Dart's starting this weekend. I'm excited.
And the Bengals are still going to have a better record than the Giants.
Hey, that's fine. We're going to be, 14-3. So
maybe 3-14.
No.
14-3. I mean, to be fair, there was an article talking about the Bengals offensive line and not even pass blocking, run blocking. It's man. It's going to be a long year.
Speaking of Bengals, RIP to Bengals alum and former running back Rudy Johnson. Passed away today. We know he took his own life. So if you're struggling, definitely reach out to somebody. Call Daryl. He'll help you. He's very good at that stuff. Anyway, but he took his own life, and they've already started talking about CTE. So I think that's premature, to be honest. But we'll see what happens.
It absolutely could be an issue. Right. However, that's the first thing that people go for. And there's a lot of people that are in situations that have mental health issues that do the same thing that don't have CTE. So to say and again, I'm talking about other people saying that, yes, it could be a factor, or there could be other underlying factors that had nothing to do with CTE that people just didn't know about.
Well, it's just with any football players or wrestlers. That's the number one thing they jump to. So thoughts for his family and his friends and his, I think he was a dad. I think he had kids. He was our age. So, yeah. Sad. That's a fun note to start on, huh?
I know. I hear the insects going right now. I didn't expect to tune into.
So especially after last week. Anyway, all right. So we're talking about Alien Earth and the Terminalist Dark Wolf. Both series had their penultimate episode last week. So we're going to be talking about those. And the next week will come. Well, actually in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. Right? No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're going to come back and we'll talk about the finales and probably most of the first season of Gen V. Only because I haven't had a chance to watch any of it yet. And someone, not named me, is having trouble getting past the first episode. So
yes, I finished the first episode, but
So I said past. You got through the first episode. I know that, but you
I see what you mean.
You're having to psych yourself up to keep going, which makes me sad because the first season of that show was excellent.
I 100% agree. I really like the first season of this show. It's just anyway. So. You'll see what you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. That doesn't, like I said, that does not mean that episodes 2 and 3 won't be better. Right. And I'll get on the trip, but I have an Eric Kripke problem, and people like that.
Yeah. So, well, I do have good news. We will be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo again. I applied for our press badges as usual, and instead of them waiting, we wait until the last minute. They just immediately approved them. It was great.
Now, where's that one at?
It's going to be at the Sharonville Convention Center.
Oh, okay. Because Duke Energy is still under construction.
Yeah, but it's the Superman one.
The Superman one.
Like Tyler and Bitsy will be there. Brandon will be there. Tom will be there.
Oh, really?
Henry will not be there.
Well, he got hurt on the set of Highlander.
So, do you think he got stabbed? That's how I read that he got stabbed when they said he got hurt and they didn't really say anything about it.
Well, he showed a picture of his leg up in like bandages or a cast. Not a full-on cast, but it was something to do with his leg. So, I mean, he honestly could have gotten stabbed in the leg, but I couldn't tell by the picture.
Yeah. I feel like he, would have been like, hey, So as long as he's not pregnant and taking Tylenol, I think he should be all right.
I can guarantee you he's not.
That he's not taking Tylenol? Anyway. You're no fun tonight. What's going on here? It's like your Michigan Wolverines lost or something.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Anyway. All right.
It's fine.
It's fine. Anyway. All right. Do we want to talk about Alien Earth?
Yes, let's get this over with.
What the hell are you talking about? Get this over with. All right. Go ahead.
I'm not having as much fun as I was expecting after the first 3-4 episodes. Honestly.
We have the exact same score for episode 6, and we have grossly different scores for episode 7.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and I will say this: I am the positive one this time.
Which I think that's what do they call that? Compensating
delusion
of grandeur.
Yes,
I can get this weight up.
I'm just why are you talking about the conversation we had earlier today? Like, why? I thought I matured and I didn't just push through and get hurt. I lowered the weight and just because I did it last week doesn't mean I can do it again this week. Because I'm being a 4-year-old and I'm living on hot dogs and ham and cheese sandwiches right now.
That's just one meal or 2 meals, or is it 3 meals?
So far this week, it's been 3 meals have been hot dogs. Well, I had them for lunch last 2 days and then for dinner last night. And then I made a ham and cheese bagel for dinner tonight.
Are they at least good hot dogs?
They're ballpark. I mean,
okay, ballpark.
But I do them in the air fryer and I cut little X's on the top. So they get kind of the little caramelized crispy edges there. Like
dead eyeballs?
No. Yes. Like dead eyeballs. Exactly like the dead eyeballs. Anyway. No, I mean, they're really good. So,
okay. No, I like ballpark.
400 degrees for 6 minutes in the air fryer. It's perfect.
Dogs in air fryer, hot dogs, so PETA doesn't go after me. Hot dogs in air fryers are really good.
Yeah, it's like
that's the only way.
I prefer grilled where they're all grilled and crispy.
I don't like the burnt.
I like the chart, not completely charred through. But anyway, talking about hot dogs, for example, the
Armor hot dog.
I don't even. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please go. We talked about Demolition Man earlier today. Please go ahead and sing the theme song.
I don't know the words.
Anyway.
Hot dogs, armor hot dogs.
There you go. You got it.
Little kids, even kids.
They're the dogs kids love to bite.
Even kids with chicken pox love hot dogs.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So episode 6 is called The Fly. It is written by Noah Hawley and Lisa Long, and it is directed by Olga Hauksdóttir. I don't even know how to say that. There's an umlaut and an accent. So there's a lot going on with Olga's last name.
Yeah.
All right. So the Xenomorph keeps getting bigger. Who would have thought, right? This Xenomorph is different. His head is the camouflaged variant of the Xenomorphs, which I thought was pretty interesting. And Wendy is getting her Xenomorphies down. I have a really horrible joke that I'm not going to say, but you can guess where it's
going. You're showing restraint.
You can guess where I went with it.
Yeah, anyway. Just like I did earlier, and I'll tell. I actually made a note to tell you after the podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. So. Was it with that text chain?
No.
Oh, see, I would not have any restraint with that. All right. So it's going she's working on communicating with it. I actually like all that. I know you're not as big a fan of that as I am. But then we get the whole thing with Nibs in her memory, and they're like, let's just wipe it out completely. And so Arthur's like, absolutely not. And gets fired on the spot for it. There's no back and forth at all. They're like, cool, you have to leave the island by 6:00 or you're trespassing and you will be shot.
What is that guy's name? The bald guy.
It is Atom Eins.
Again, one of my biggest issues for this show, and it's totally different from the next episode.
You don't know the names of any of the characters, like I don't.
But you're not even important enough to remember.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's part of the issue with the show.
My biggest issue with the show is the writing. And what I mean by that, because again, from a aesthetic standpoint, direction standpoint, I think it's really good. The story is, and I understand this can happen. The sheer stupidity of the people that are supposed to be smart, and there's nobody smart in this show. You have Prodigy that's supposed to be this Prodigy. He's an idiot. You have what is the guy you just told me? He's an idiot. You have Arthur.
Arthur might be the dumbest smart person on the show.
Well, no, because you had the two doctors, Arthur and his wife, telling bald guy
Dame was his wife's name. Dame.
Look, this is a dumb idea. Well, they didn't say that, but they said, you don't know, we could make this worse. And for a multi-billion-dollar project to just wipe the memory, how dumb is this guy? It's offensively, it's the one of those things where it's like, okay, just put her out of commission for a while,
right,
and then do research on her.
Yeah, put her to sleep.
Yeah, because they had her to sleep already. Right. So it's stuff like that where it takes me out because it's just.
I'll tell you why it doesn't take me out, and it's not fair to the show, but it's because I've seen so much quote unquote horror. Like, I don't think these people are any dumber than the person who goes upstairs to check on the ghost.
Oh, no, they absolutely are. I would disagree. They absolutely are. Because again, when you have something like this, you don't want to rush. The fact that somebody tells you, we could make this worse, and this is a $6 billion individual, I guess. I'm assuming that's $6 billion.
Because he said $6 billion. Yeah, there goes $6 billion. But really, I mean, he's still up $14 billion.
Yeah. So and again, it's along the lines of, we can make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Put her, like you said, put her out of commission. How difficult would that be?
Yeah.
But anyway.
But then Wendy comes along and does what Wendy does and just starts asking questions. It's my favorite thing about her character is she's still so childlike, yet she's so entirely capable of doing whatever needs to be done.
And to be fair, that's also one of the things I like is not just Wendy, but all of them. They still have that childlike innocence to them. And it's one of those things that you can be lulled. And that's almost like how the people that interact with them, they can be lulled to sleep and not realizing, look, these are kids, but they have in these monstrous, synth bodies. By the way, I do have a question for you. We know that Wendy is special.
The premiums, you mean?
Yeah, the preems. Wendy is special. She has more, I guess, under the hood, so to speak.
Right. Correct.
Aren't the other ones? Wouldn't they have? I won't say super strength, but strength beyond that of a person. And the reason I
saw that with Nibs in episode 7.
Yeah. So and again, it's going to be in episode. Well, actually, when was that in episode 7 in the beginning where Slightly and Shim or whatever his name was, Smee, where they were carrying Arthur, and it was both of them, and it's like one of them just throwing them over your shoulder.
I think.
So I get to that's that. What I wasn't sure.
I'll tell you why I think they did it that way, or why Slightly did it that way. But yeah, they are stronger because we see what happens. But
I just don't know how. Yeah,
the childhood wonder that they have, it is a feat of acting.
It's really well done, and again,
I think it's really well written the way they do that too, though. Because they have to have the words and they have to have the direction to get that down.
So but I don't. That's one of the things I don't have problems with, honestly. When I said the writing, it's more so, and I think I told you through text, it's some of the scenarios that they put the character, not necessarily them, but just the characters in general. Where
what they did with Tootsie, for example, I think it really bears down and highlights your point, right? So, Kavalier meets with Yutani. It's a great scene. I don't really want to spoil it. I like his disrespect that he shows towards her and the restraint that she shows from not just immediately having Morrow rip his head off. Although I don't think Kirsh would have let that happen. But anyway, the scene with Kirsh and Morrow in the elevator was fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe the best scene of the whole series.
Oh, that was awesome. Anyway, that was great.
So Kavalier, they go through the whole thing. Like they're having this, like, we want our alien back. And he tells her, you know, he actually, he negotiated the way I negotiate. Like I say my price,
barefoot,
and then there's that
on the table,
barefoot and completely indignant. But like someone will be like, "Oh, this is the price." I'm like I'll say, "This is what I want." They'll say, "This is the price," and then I'm like, "Okay, cool, I want more." So I just really appreciated that. It was like, I want 20. We'll give you 15. I want 25. So anyway, but like that back and forth about how like getting it back and how he actually played her. Like, I don't think she really expected him to be that conniving.
Well, again, I think
and all he did was follow the rules.
Mm-hmm. And again, I honestly want to know less about him because I truly don't care about his character. And he's playing it well, but I just don't care about him. I want to know more about that kind of like that five family.
The five, yeah.
I'm like that actually piqued my curiosity watching that scene. It was more about that instead of the back and forth between them.
Right.
And part of it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I was going to say, part of it is because, and again, this is actually credit to the actor. His character is so repugnant. I just cannot wait. And again, I cannot wait I think it's going to be.
I'll tell you what I think happens to him when we get to the next episode.
Yeah, so, I was about to say, I have let's wait for that.
I have a theory for that. But there was a huge missed opportunity because the guy who was playing the mediator for the five, it should have been Neil Patrick Harris. I don't know why. I just think Neil Patrick Harris would be awesome as a synth in that role. With that haircut and everything.
Well, I mean, he kind of actually had
that's why he looked like
about it. Yeah,
he kind of looked like Neil Patrick Harris. That's why I was bringing that up. I mean, if like it's not like we have Neil Patrick Harris at home Temu version. So anyway, okay. So while they're flying back to the island, Kirsh has an interaction over the video feed with Tootsie and telling him to feed and water the specimens and reminds him that there's a process and the process is the scientific method. It's not the scientific suggestion.
Which was great. I love that line.
Great line.
But you are synth naming him. His name is Isaac. Or was Isaac.
Oh, I forgot he changed his name. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm synth naming him. Oh my god. So since he's not Tootsie, is he not a premium anymore?
And it was Tootles.
Tootles. Oh, you're right. It says Tootles. I gotta go to the eye doctor.
I actually need to get mine checked too.
Anyway,
my yearly.
I haven't had. Never mind. Anyway, since I had LASIK, just putting it out there. So he goes in and he ends up locking himself in the cage with the fly creatures. But I guess the it's called the Ocellus is the name of the sheep creature.
Yeah.
And god damn it if it's not psychic. He can control things with his mind. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then we get a Brundlefly scene, which I don't know how you feel about the two Fly movies. I love them both. I love the one with Jeff Goldblum more than the original.
Yeah.
I think it was Vincent Price. I might be wrong, but like I loved it. I loved everything about this scene. Like it was like, yes, they think he's made out of like flesh, but they still just want to eat matter. It kind of worked.
Well, because look, he was feeding them like leftover equipment.
Yeah.
Because they would get so it wasn't that they thought he was, they were like, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're made of. I'm going to eat you anyway.
It doesn't matter what you're made of. You're rooted to. Anyway.
It's not like the xenomorph eggs that, don't even bother opening when there's a synth around. It's like, you know what? I'm not getting anything. So, but these things are like, oh, okay.
Right.
You want us, you're not going to do anything when I land on your arm?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, and it was a good use of the fly acid. I just thought it was cool. And then the flies escaped.
Yeah.
So they're just out and about. There's a lot of that happened in this episode, or these 2 episodes. All right. So, Slightly tries to get Joe to go to see an egg because Morrow told him he needed to infect somebody and get them off the island. But Joe's like, no, I'm good here. But then he goes to visit Arthur, and him and Arthur have this whole thing where they turn off all the tracking devices on all the premiums. And Joe gives him a boat code so that he can get Wendy off the island. This was an interesting scene, but there's no way Joe still has that kind of access.
Again, that's that to your point about like multiple scenes. Mm-hmm. This is another example of, are you telling me the lack of security for this top installation, right, with when you have alien creatures, mm-hmm, is staggering. And again, that's what I'm talking about, where the little things like that take me out. And it's like, and again, we've seen this in other movies too, where it's like you said, they would immediately, first of all, Joe wouldn't have access. Second of all, they just fired Arthur. Are you think they're going to let him keep that access? No. They're going to have people over his shoulder while he collects his things. Mm-hmm. Hell, they do that now in places that aren't top secret.
Yeah. I mean, I do that when people leave my house.
Or they're like, you know what? We'll send you your things.
Yeah.
Please leave now.
I actually go through and like just revoke people's Wi-Fi access after they leave. What? Don't judge me.
I mean, after they leave, I mean, it's not a big. It's
sometimes
the right thing to do.
Sometimes, if your name is Jennifer, you just randomly lose access to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, when they leave. Oh, okay. I thought you meant at work. Okay.
No, all right. When they leave my house, they take away the Wi-Fi access. So, like when they come back over, they're like, "Hey, can I get on the Wi-Fi?" And I have to think about it.
Okay, that makes more sense there. I was wondering, like, why are you cackling? That's part of the job.
That comes with that comes with the whole question. Do you have TikTok on your phone? So
yeah, that makes sense why you cackled like that.
Yeah. But sometimes Jen just randomly loses access to the internet. It's so weird. It's like all of her devices get paused. It's so strange. I don't know how it happens, only to her. Anyway. It's so much fun. Anyway, all right. So Slightly ends up convincing Arthur to go into. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. You're right.
No, it wasn't even. And again, we both knew that
Arthur notices that Tootles is disconnected after he's unplugging the trackers on the low jacks on all the premiums. So he goes to investigate. That's what he did. Sorry.
Yeah. But
Slightly's with him. Slightly goes with him.
Yeah. Well, Slightly's there already, and he's like, "Hey, have you seen Tootles or Isaac or whatever?" Yeah. I don't know which one Arthur calls him, but because Slightly was ready to say no to Morrow,
right?
And then it's like, well, this guy just came and fell into my lap, so okay, I guess I'll do it this time. Which again, it's going back to security. It's right. It's really hard to get past stuff like this. Like, it doesn't destroy the episode for me, as you can see for the rating, because
Arthur gets what he deserves.
But I will say this: the one thing I will say is that which has me wondering, and this is why I'm very curious to see how this ends, the finale, because Kirsh is watching this all, like, the whole thing.
Well, I think Kirsh is in league with Yutani.
I think that could be the case as well.
I think the way he kind of his whole thing with Kavalier and with Morrow, I just think he knows way more than any of them, and I think he knows what these are. He knows what's going on with the Xenomorphs. I think he also wants to see what happens, but I think it quickly got out of control for how he wanted this experiment to go, because Isaac Tootles couldn't get Kirby, who should have gone to do all of this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, if he has communication with all of them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, maybe it was like, hey, I'm going to send him because I do want this to happen.
And that was the other thing I was wondering after everything played out, including the episode after this. I kind of want, and that's why I'm very curious to see how this ends, because he is. It's like what do they call it? The omniscient narrator or what have you in books that know everything. It's almost like you said, he knows more.
Paul Atreides.
Oh gosh.
Hey, you're the one who said there's no Dune problems. There's only Dune solutions.
I'm pretty sure I didn't say it that way, but okay.
Well, anyway, right. I said it that way because you said I have a problem and I said I have a solution. Anyway, so we get a facehugger in this episode for the first time since episode 2, which was awesome. I guess that's not true. We got the flashback episode with the facehugger, but still, there's a couple things. Seeing facehuggers on Earth, and I know we've had the AVP movies, but seeing the facehuggers on Earth is like wholly terrifying.
Yeah, that was actually one of the few good parts of AVP. It's the second one, I believe, where it gets a kid and the dad, like while they're camping, and that's like, are these, looking out my window, are these things out here right now? Like, seriously.
Well, but you don't go camping. In two,
no, I'm talking about. I'm looking out my window.
I know.
No, you didn't know. Didn't know.
I do know.
You tried to make a joke. It wasn't funny.
My jokes.
Get over yourself, Paul Atreides.
Never funny. They're usually just mean.
Well, not necessarily.
Anyway, so that is how episode 6, The Fly, ends. So, out of 5 facehuggers are not a good severance package. What do you give this episode?
3.5. And I thought it was a solid episode. Again, like, and you mentioned it not too long ago, the scene between Morrow and Kirsh in the elevator after the mediation. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was awesome. And
that actually bumped it a whole half point for me because I originally was going to give it a 3.
But like, seriously, I don't know if we need more, but I want more of Kirsh.
Yeah.
And a little bit more of Morrow.
I don't want a Kirsh series.
I would absolutely watch that. So
we got 3.5. We got to get Walton Goggins involved somehow. Anyway. Yes, and I concur with 3.5 out of 5. I thought this was a very serviceable episode, but it wasn't necessarily fun, and it didn't necessarily move much of the story along, and it felt like a little treading of water, where they could have put some more of like what happened in season or in episode 7, like more of that kind of storytelling, in my opinion, there. So, all right, episode 7. We'll get through this one kind of quick because we've been talking for a long time.
Talking a while. Yeah, I just realized the time.
So anyway, okay. So Smee discovers Slightly hiding with an incapacitated Arthur and is later convinced to help him deliver Arthur tomorrow on the beach. Now, this is what you were talking about, where why did Slightly need Smee's help? I think he needed Smee's help because he does not know that he can do this because he's just a dumb kid.
Okay, that could be I could forgive them for that. Which again, that actually didn't really bother me. It was more asking a question because I just wasn't sure if, because like you did make a good example with Isaac ripping the door off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that actually does make sense.
And they don't all get like the training that Wendy's got and that Kirby's getting.
Right. So I mean, that makes sense. That does make sense.
But I mean, that's just kind of how I read that, because of all of them, he's the most immature, which is why he was so susceptible to Morrow.
Yes.
So they are, making their way downtown, walking around, they're homebound. And security resecures the lab with the specimens that are in there. Wendy is really upset with the boy genius and his attitude towards Tootles, Isaac's death. It was really interesting because he's like, oh, can we reboot and reload or whatever? Or reload and reboot? And they're like, yeah, maybe. No. So it's like, yeah, no, this one's dead. And that's where he goes, well, there goes $6 billion.
Yeah.
Again, dude, you're up 14. Come on.
Yeah, so. I just love his reactions to stuff. Kirsh is like, well, theoretically, yeah. Practically, no, we haven't cracked it. So
Wendy reacts badly to this and lets her pet Xenomorph out, camouflage edition. And it definitely rampages on its way to the forest.
Yeah, which this is a good conversation or a good thoughts on, yes, Wendy is a child. Or not a child. She's not a child. She is what? She was right around 12.
She's a petulant teenager.
Yeah.
Tween. She's a tween. How about that?
But her lack of care for life. Like, it was one thing when, and we'll get to that part, in the forest, when, you have guns on you. But it's another, knowing that this thing gets out, and apparently she can tell it, hey, don't do this. And she just, lets it out, and it kills. I don't know how many people it kills. And we'll get to the other thing that I could not stand in this show is not this episode, but this show in general is people with guns apparently can't shoot. Like none of these trained.
They won't.
No, it's.
I'm kidding. It's
to the point where it's become like this trope in this series where it's like
obviously tied to Star Wars and the Force.
No, it's the stormtroopers.
Yes.
So. No, that actually makes more sense. These guys are like the progenitors of stormtroopers.
Proto stormtroopers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they. So she lets him out. And then we come back to Slightly and Smee carrying Arthur's body down to the beach, and they run into Kirsh. And Kirsh is like, "Oh yeah, no, go AB instead of AC, and you'll be you'll get down there faster." And it's like,
yeah,
okay, that Kirsh is definitely working with Yutani,
right
at this point. But then Arthur wakes up, which was weird. Right, and the facehugger like immediately dies.
Yeah, and I'm wondering do you think that he told them to go that way because he knew they wouldn't be able to contact Morrow's team in time? That's the only thing.
Because I don't think it was the faster way.
I don't think so either.
He did the math of when Arthur was going to expire.
Right. So I think he did that purposefully.
And then, the other cool thing that's happening like in the jungle is Wendy, Nibs, and Joe come across the graveyard.
Oh yeah.
That was like, I just thought that was really cool because we've talked about the kids dying. The kids had died, and here they are. They're actually buried on the island.
Yeah.
That is something that is definitely going to come into play in the finale. But
you would have to, I think.
It was really interesting. So then back to Arthur and the boys. Arthur gets a chestbuster, and of the two premiums that you're going to have with you, the two most likely to let a chestbuster escape were Smee and Slightly. Am I wrong?
1,000%.
So I was like, of course it gets away. So now we have the two fly creatures on the loose. We have the little snake version of a xenomorph. And we have a full-grown xenomorph running around.
Well, they did catch the two fly creatures in the lab.
Oh, yeah, I guess they did. You're right.
Because going back to Kirsh, the way after his two men, and I'm assuming they're men, they were pretty much fearless going after those things. But after they catch him, he's like, "You're safe. It's safe to come in now." He said that to Kavalier with such like quiet disdain.
Yeah,
like, "You coward. It's safe now."
You're right. I forgot about that. But yes, you're right. But yeah, so it was like they're making their way through, and then we come back to the lab where it was safer for Kavalier to come in, and he is showing the Ocellus that caused the lab accident, and he has like a mental conversation with it. Yeah, and now he wants to put it in someone that can talk, and I think it's definitely going to end up in Kavalier.
Well, I think that might happen.
I think they're going to put it in someone else.
Yeah.
And it will finagle its way to be alone with Kavalier.
I think,
and it'll take over Kavalier. And it will be able to hide itself better than it's been hiding itself in the sheep.
Yeah. And that would be that would be a very, very good, like, kind of like that.
This is how the season's going to end. It's going to be it's going to be in Kavalier, and there's going to be a xenomorph that comes in and then turns and runs away. And Wendy's going to look at it like, what's going on? And then fade to like whatever badass rock song they picked in the episode.
You see what I mean by that episode?
Oh, dude, it's every episode, but you're absolutely right. Episode 6 was like straight fire. Okay, so the trio, Wendy, Joe, and Nibs, get attacked. The xenomorph comes to the rescue, and it is just yeeting dudes. It's cutting off legs with its tail. It bit some dude's neck out. It didn't even have to use its acid.
So, again, there's two things I'll say. One, I like the look of this one and how this one has been moving more than I did the one...
It's because
in the first couple episodes,
camouflage, and you can only see half of it anyway.
So no, it's actually the design of it. It's a little bit different, but it's not as jerky. So I do like it a little. I do like that part of how it moves, especially when it was in the cage.
It's smaller too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. So there's a smaller like stunt person in the suit. So it
Peter
definitely.
Dinklage.
No, I mean, it's someone who can actually move and bend over and touch their toes. So anyway, it's not because he's small. It's because he's fat. He's not really fat. I don't know. He was great in Dexter Resurrection. Great.
Oh, yeah, you did say he was in that.
He's such a good bad guy. He was great. Anyway, so, all of this happens, and they're fighting, and they get away, and Wendy tells the xenomorph to go hide but follow, which is like just next level thinking, right? It's like, cool, I have this like super soldier who will only obey me, so now I have it as my Overwatch. I thought that was just like, you've been complaining about the writing. I thought that was like a next level step of thinking for the writing for people who probably have zero experience hunting or being hunted.
Mm-hmm. My problem with yes, that's fine. My problem is for the whole of the Alien franchise. And yes, I understand you're not going to be the only one that likes this. Like when you introduce something new that is the antithesis of everything that you've shown before, it's not always bad. I'm not saying it's always bad. I just don't like it here. I don't like the idea of this alien in this short of time being basically a watchdog for someone when we've known the alien species many times. They've been on Earth, and again, yes, there has not been a Wendy. However, I think for me personally, and also for a lot of people, I think that's going to take away some of the mystique of what this alien creature is overall. Now, they could come back, and because, like I said, this is not over yet. So what they do with it, it could make it like, okay. I mean, it's. I don't know if this is going to get a second season. Yeah. I think it's good enough that it could, but even with the stuff I don't necessarily like, I think it's good enough to where it could and probably should get a second season if they want to.
Looking at the ratings, it's not too well. It's not doing great. I mean, it's less than like Superman and Lois on the CW.
Really?
Yeah. Which that kind of fell off a cliff viewership wise.
Wow.
Okay. One of two things is going to happen. Something's going to happen to Wendy, and she's going to be destroyed. And so they're going to lose the technology that's in her, and they're not going to be able to redo it. So the whole talking to the xenomorphs is gone. Or she's going to commandeer a spaceship, and she's going to take her xenomorphs, because I assume she's going to have more than one by the end of whenever this is done. And she's going to head off into space with them. And then...
It's going to be like Michonne and her two zombies.
Kinda, except for, they're not like armless and on chains. They're just one click away. Like any good ad on the internet. What?
Oh, geez.
What?
No, I knew what you were going to say with that.
You knew what I was going to say about ads? Sure you did.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at an ad right now, so I knew that's what that was coming for.
That's not at all where I was going with it, but anyway. Okay, let's see. 5 days ago. I don't know. No official renewal has been announced yet. So, but Hawley had plans for a multi-season series, with season 1 serving as a proof of concept. Season 2 would focus on building a model for future seasons. The show strong premiere of 9.2 million viewers globally and critically acclaimed 96% Rotten Tomatoes. So it says it's still developing, with reports suggesting it may be in early development, potentially filming in Bangkok. Anyway. All right. So they get to the boat. Well, I guess Morrow's team meets up with Slightly and Smee, and Slightly begs for Smee to be spared, which he is. They just unceremoniously dump Arthur in the water, and it's kind of that. And then Mara's team gets into the facility, and Kirsh is there to take them captive.
Which again, Kirsh playing that 4 or 5D chess is like,
and Kirsh captured the newborn xenomorph.
Yes.
So,
because again, dude is absolutely on point.
Yep.
I'll just say that. Like, that's why again, my favorite, most interesting, and my favorite character.
Absolutely.
Yes, so. Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with Raylan Givens. Anyway, okay, so then the episode ends with Wendy and Joe and Nibs are intercepted by Neverland security, and Nibs loses her mind when Mr. Pineapple, what's the name of her stuffed ostrich?
Something like that gets yeeted into the water.
Unceremoniously thrown into the water by that security guard, and she just rips his jaw right off his face.
That was just...
She went full Brightburn.
Yeah.
And just and then just and then that guy died. Anyway, so then some soldiers actually shoot her, and then Joe shocks her with some sort of energy weapon, and she's done. She's gone. No more Nibs.
That's the thing. That's what I thought, is because it says in the notes that it incapacitated her, but the way she looked, that looked a lot more like, oh, my circuits got overwhelmed.
It looked like Isaac when Isaac died. Like, because
Isaac really
died before he fully melted.
Yes,
and you saw the spark of ones and zeros leaving his eyes. And you got that same thing with Nibs. So if Nibs comes back, I'll be surprised. But I feel like Joe inadvertently killed her. And then Wendy, who had previously told Joe, why would I leave my family behind, gives him a look that Joe should be very afraid.
Yes.
So I wonder if they're going to make Joe give back his lung.
That would suck.
They should.
I mean,
if I were writing this show, I would absolutely do that bit of body horror of making Joe give back his lung and only having one lung.
But yeah, again. So, and again, as we go with the rating, for what is the rating system?
Okay, so out of 5, every premium needs a pet xenomorph.
I give it a 2.9. 5. 2.9.
You have a 2.95 here, yeah. And
the reason is, again,
I get why you didn't like it.
Well, no, it's a couple things. It's the whole xenomorph aspect of being a pet. I just don't like. It is what it is. And I also, and again, this is a culmination of several episodes. Dude, yawning.
Sorry. It's almost my bedtime.
Yeah, I know, but still. This is a culmination of several episodes that they've done this. So it's not, sure. So this gets the brunt of it. Mm-hmm. I'm so tired of these trained soldiers not getting off around with this thing. Sure. It would have made more sense if they were in a thicker forest or thicker jungle where they couldn't see it. Yes, I know it was high grass, but you can see it. Yeah. If it was in a thicker jungle, like kind of like Predator, yeah, that would make sense. And then I would have definitely given it a better score. So as much as I do not like the pet aspect of it, that's not why that's sure. Part of the reason. But there's just other things that is, again, the scenario writing, even with the good stuff we have with Kirsh and Morrow, it's just one of those episodes that it's frustrating because it's not a bad episode. I'm not saying it's a bad episode. It's just so disappointing where like the writing failed, where there was better writing would have been a better episode. But just I mean, that's kind of very reductive, but whatever. Yeah. So 2.95 out of 5. Cool.
Yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. This is I thought this was a really like good episode. It ended on a much better note than, I don't think it started on a bad note, but like I liked Smee and Slightly as two just unwitting accomplices to nonsense. Again, I liked the Kirsh stuff here. I liked Kavalier with the Ocellus. And then I liked getting to see some actual alien fighting and, brutality, in the show. I mean, it's supposed to be that horror sci-fi. And
yes, contrived.
I felt like this was the first time we got more of that than we have.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I'm sorry. That's my idea. And again, I told you I saw I watched Ballerina a couple days ago, which I actually like. It still had some of the problems the later John Wick movies had. It was too contrived. It was too choreographed, the fight scenes. Too long. It didn't seem natural. And that's how, to me, these action sequences with not just this alien, but the first one we got was where they're trying so hard that they're missing the point of, look, yes, aliens are badasses, but you get some Marines, you get trained soldiers. One alien is not going to take out like 8 soldiers. It's just not going to happen.
Sure.
And that's, I won't say it's unforgivable, but that's also I couldn't
like
get past
the fear of like seeing an alien. Anyway, the other thing that I really liked was we got to see a xenomorph in daylight.
Yeah, well,
like
no, definitely really, not an alien. movies.
No, not in the Alien movies. Not at all, because they're either on spaceships or prison worlds.
Yes.
But seeing the it in the jungle fighting, very reminiscent of Predator in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was really cool because it was a different environment to see it in, and seeing how it reacted with all that space to move and things like that. I thought it was such a cool take, and it was something different that we have not seen.
Yeah,
from the Alien franchise, and again, which is sunlight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's not a bad episode, and the aesthetics of this show, just the the cinematography, just the backdrops and everything that we get is really well done.
Yeah.
That's not a thing I can actually really complain about. I mean, I guess there could be nitpicks, but not that I can think of off the top of my head. Where it's like, I like that aspect of it. It's just I wanted to have something more, not necessarily true to life, but something that felt less scripted.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah. All right. So Dark Wolf. We're going to speed run this. We got 9 minutes. Are you ready?
Well, yeah. Dark Wolf is one of those, though. Like the plot line it's a little bit more simplified, especially as we've gotten as we've basically narrowed the beam, I guess.
Yeah.
From the first few episodes. Oh, yeah. I think it's a little bit one of those things that's more direct, and I like that because, and I told you I was having trouble with Alien Earth, not because of what it was being bad, but it was just, I couldn't sit down and watch something for a while for more than 5-10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And
I understand. I mean, I have the same issue. And then when I got into episode 6, I really liked it, or 7, I really liked it. Okay. So episode 5, Annie, episode 6 is Pawns and Kings. I just gotta say, I love how this show builds on itself. And in the just kind of the story and how everything's going, Hastings is probably gonna die, which makes me sad, but I think he's such a cool character.
Yes.
And Tim Riggins in this world is definitely not a coward.
Oh no.
So he's a shoot first, ask questions second kind of guy now. But no, I thought this was cool because Ben confronts Priyasha, or what's her name? It's not Priyasha. Eliza, thank you. He confronts Eliza in Zurich and gets the bearings back, and she's telling him that Mossad didn't plan the attack and that her and Varan's real mission is to investigate Haverford, who they think is being manipulated by Shepard, which is really, really cool. And then they're attacked by a tactical team, speaking Farsi, so probably Iran, or Iran, however you say it. And they escape after getting into the typical Terminal List action Jason Bourne type gunfights.
Yeah, and the thing I like about the gunfights here generally is there are a lot of missed shots, which again, this is you talk to guys that there are a lot of missed shots because you're not just Call of Dutying it where you're okay, I'm going to just absorb these, I'm going to tank these bullets. Nah, it's okay, duck and cover.
Yeah,
get a pot shot here and there.
You mean you're not going to camp Scadaboo all those bullets? That's right.
I'm not a crayon eater.
You're not what?
A crayon eater.
Oh God, that was hilarious. Yeah, no, you're right. In the other thing too is a lot of time these fights, there's explosions happening and things like that. It's not just bullets flying at them. And so they trace Haverford's communications back to Munich. And so that's when Varan, when she goes and has a brutal ass fight scene.
Yeah. And I told you one of the things, and they generally did a good job with Ballerina with this, but there were some where it was like, okay, this is a little bit much with her fighting this guy.
Right.
For the most part, they did a good job with it. I won't lie. Because that was one of the things her trainer said. You're always going to be weaker. You're always going to be smaller. Use your advantage. I think it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
The fight with Varn, and like I said, the guy that looks like he would play neo-Nazis, and because he's played a neo-Nazi in a couple shows before, or in one show before, or something. But because the first time when he first comes in, she pegs him with 2 shots, one in the chest and one in the arm.
Yeah.
So, okay, now you're like at 70% health, probably 60.
And I mean, she's using like everything in the environment to like hit him and throw at him. And like, he's using like every wall and surface to bounce her off of. It was, I mean, it was brutal. It was a brutal fight. And I thought I thought it was really well done. And she got out of there by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah.
So by no means did she win that fight. She survived.
No. So I was about to say, is she just survive? What do they say in March Madness? Survive in advance.
Survive in advance, and that's what she did. And I thought that was great. And then we get Eliza and Ben on their way. They're leaving Zurich to rendezvous with the team, and it might be one of the cooler like kind of bombings. The guys knew which way they were going, and they're pulling up on the motorcycle, just kind of checking in on cars, and they find the car. They just leave the bomb on the hood of the car and take off. And
funny story with this. When we were talking earlier, and you were like, I can't believe they blew her up.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. I'm like, what in the hell is he talking about? I thought the end of the episode, and I didn't realize I turned it off after the barn fight.
Oh, you thought that was the end?
Yeah. I turned it off, and like, so when I went back and because it started from where I left off, and I'm like, oh, I have 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. So, and then Ben kills both guys, like, and I thought they did a great job showing him being disoriented and stuff. And even like he's had to take extra shots, which he hadn't normally would have to do. But then he grabs the bracelet that Eliza's daughter made her and grabbed it before taking off. Cause I remember I had talked to you earlier about it. I was like, I don't know how Ben ended up with the briefcase again. So yeah. Because I had to go back. I went back and watched.
Okay.
But I mean, like I actually rewatched both episodes today as well. So I thought this was pretty decent. So let's say out of, in Hastings was torturing a guy who he thought was Iranian, but it turned out that he was part of Germany's spy network. So he was a friendly and Hastings ends up killing him, and he's like, crap, this is not why I want to be
Can you do a mea culpa on that one?
Yeah, right. He's like, where's 5 when I need him? Let's hop back in time a few minutes here. And like, so he's very conflicted coming out of this episode. So out of 5, torturing allies is actually a bad thing. What do you give this one?
3.7 out of 5.
Nice. Yeah. I went 3.8. I liked it. I am really enjoying all of like the choreography on the show with the fighting and stuff. Like you said, it's not like, it doesn't feel like it's overly wrought with with too much. Which is a good thing.
All right, can we get to this episode and one of my favorite gunfights? I don't even call it a gunfight in this episode because it was basically a slaughter. But
you're talking about episode 6, Pawns and Kings?
Ass.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the end?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this one opens up, and Cyrus assures Saeed they'll have their bearings so they can make nuclear weapons, and there's just a lot of stuff happening at the beginning of this episode with the Iranians and the West and capitalism and all of that stuff. But it's Ben catches up with the team at the rendezvous. Hastings confirms the bearings that they received were also fakes. And Haverford admits that Shepard played them, and to stop them, that they need to stop them now. It was, I don't know. I thought the first part of the episode was really interesting just because it was all of the fallout from the last episode, because there was so much. It was Vron, getting beaten within an inch of her life. It was, Haverford. I forgot why do you keep saying that. Hastings doing his thing, and then it was Ben and Eliza in their thing. And so it was a nice reset.
Right. And they all coming back together,
Well, except for Veron. So
right.
Who saw the explosion and went to a different safe house.
Right.
Well, she saw it on TV. Let me rephrase that. But yeah.
Yeah, I really, the first half was fine, but it was obviously necessary, because it's set, like you say, it's setting the table. We have to have a little bit of that background on the players on Iran's side trying to get these bearings to get their nuclear power station up and running.
Well, they're trying to get their nuclear power while also not losing all these, or getting all these sanctions put against them.
Right. That too. Yeah. So that was one of those things where, while I wasn't as invested in that, I understand from a storytelling standpoint, you do need to have that there. It's necessary, but they did a good job because they did not. It was as necessary as it needed to be, and it wasn't overdone. It was, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going. Hey, your brother better get this shit, or what the consequences are going to be.
Right.
And so everything. The pacing of this, in the sense of getting the information that the viewer needs to understand the backstory and the background, is well done.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And so now it just becomes a whole what are they doing with the bearings? Selling the bearings, handing the bearings off, things like that, and they end up having a trade with the foreign minister of Iran. And they're trying to improve the relations, the Iranian Western relations, because he's a CIA plant, and they go ahead and they test the bearings, and everybody thinks they're going to be fake between Mo and Ben and Landry, and lo and behold, they're not. And then the one guy, Saeed, gives just says the worst thing to any American. So
yeah.
But yeah, I just found all of that really interesting. It was just a lot of surprises in the episode that you didn't necessarily
yeah. Well,
coming.
You know what they say, with somebody like Haverford, never trust. Well,
Hastings.
No, Haverford.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right.
You'll not know why I was laughing. Never trust the spook.
Oh yeah. You should never ever trust a ghost. Never ever. Oh, did I tell you what Haley? Speaking of ghosts, Haley's license plate frame says driver controls the radio, shotgun shuts their pie hole.
I've seen that before.
It's from Supernatural.
Funny. Yeah,
because
Dean
says that. Yeah,
yeah.
So I thought you.
But I've seen somebody else. Yeah, I've seen somebody else have that too. That's funny.
Way. But yeah. What else? Oh, so they Ben and Mo and Landry decide after this deal goes down that no, we have to stop this. We can't let this happen. And then I will let you talk about the ensuing gun battle.
Okay, so I'm thinking okay, yes, you all have some combat rifles and stuff, but you need something. And I was like, okay, Ben's going to the trunk. Tupac will pack a trunk, pump the trunk, and dude pulls out a legit like one of those LMGs, and that scene, like, I mean, what can, like, yes, they have 10 guys in there, but dude, you're basically in a sausage coffin.
Oh yeah, sausage coffin. That's a good name for a band.
Yeah, it is actually.
A sausage coffin. I like it.
But man, that scene was just, that was the one of those scenes when you know the bad guys need to get it.
Yep.
And they get it.
And they get it.
That's
good.
why. Yeah, that's why if Oculus does what you said he's going to do, I'm gonna applaud Oculus.
Yeah, you're gonna stand up and cheer like Cam Scadaboo, trucks taking people through with just running right into them.
I'm gonna cheer like that Shia LaBeouf meme.
Nice. Are you gonna have a tuxedo on too? Please do. Please do. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. And we found out that Hastings like kind of hung out as Overwatch to look out for his boys one last time before disappearing. And then they head back to the safe house where Vron shows up and shows the team proof that the plane before its departure and the bodyguards and everything, and then they find Haverford's report on the team going rogue, calling them traitors to the CIA director to cover his own booty side. And Vron tells them that, like, oh, well, all this stuff we have is circumstantial. Like, we're never going to prove it. So, obviously, the next episode is going to be the start for the hunt for Haverford.
Yeah. So... yeah, that I mean that's the only place they only have one real move. I mean, yes, they have the real bearings. So that is some leverage they have, but I mean their options are extremely limited, and Haverford, knowing that what he's done to them, basically, he gave them a red notice, a burn notice, I mean.
Oh yeah.
So like they only have one option is to take him out. And
are they going to move to Miami and hang out with Sam X?
Eat yogurt every day?
Just literally just chow down on yogurt. So I think dude had a urinary tract infection, to be honest. So all right. So out of 5, never trust a CIA agent. What do you give this episode?
4.2 out of 5. Nice. I really like this. I really like it. Really, again, the last episode was that good jumping off point. That the restart where everybody coming together at the end, and then we had the nice little Iran details of that story in the beginning. But then how everything moved through. You had Hastings deciding, look, this isn't for me. But like you said, having that one last mission, having Overwatch, for his boys as they just absolutely mowed down the bad guys. I really like this episode. Now I'm really excited to see where we how this ends for us and for our team
with the finale. Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
cool. All right. Well, what do you said 4.2? I did a 4.11 out of 5. I think this is probably like soup to nuts my favorite episode of the series so far.
Yes, agree.
I think it's the most balanced episode of the series so far. Maybe outside of the pilot. And I just I thoroughly enjoyed it. And like you said, the gunfight, the gun slaughtering at the end was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Well, on that note, do you have anything you want to add?
Nope. We got some finales though.
Yes, we do.
Very, very, very potentially very good finales, I should say, to what have been some too solid to good shows.
Yes. Well, I am going to be chilling on the beach for the next 2 weeks after this. So we will be back after that to talk about the finales of these 2 shows and Gen V and who else? Who knows what else will happen?
And whatever else
while I'm away.
What day are you back?
The 7th.
Oh, okay.
So we can probably record on the 8th.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Tron would be out by the time.
No, Tron comes out on the 10th. So
yeah,
we need to go. We need to go actually see that one together.
Man, I'm very concerned about that movie. Oh no, I was.
That's why we need to go see it together, so that we can be like emotional support.
Yeah, like I'm actually while you're gone, I'm gonna watch the first two since I got them on. Yeah,
you are.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched them in a while. Either one. I haven't watched the first one in 25 years.
Oh,
I haven't watched.
I watched
Tron Legacy.
I watched both of them last month, and then I watched Tron Legacy again like a week later.
Well, I haven't watched Tron Legacy since 2015 or 16, I think.
What?
So, yeah, it's been a while. I know.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I actually, because they came in, like I got my 2 copies last week, and I actually had a dream about them, like, and actually cool. Tron was, but it was like, it wasn't in like the Matrix world.
Was it Tron or was it Rensler?
It was actually Tron.
Nice.
Like, but he wasn't in his suit. He was like in a regular suit, like 3-piece suit.
So it was just Bruce Boxleitner, but he was like
basically
blue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I knew he was Tron. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
it's so weird.
Like if I had ever had a chance to meet Bruce Boxleitner, I would have talked to him about Tron and I would have talked to him about Cuffs and nothing else.
What was the second one?
Cuffs, the movie with Christian Slater where he was San Francisco Patrol. He owned the like private police force. Anyway, like I would just like literally sit there and talk to him for hours about those 2 things.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening. We will be back next week, or well, actually, no, we'll be back in 2 weeks with more of this shenanigans. Daryl, talk to you later.
Brian, see you.
Bye. The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Daryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.